Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fallout New Vegas. So, I had a thought here. There are two companions. We need to get rid of at least one. Probably Veronica, but we haven't really experimented with getting rid of Eddie. And hadn't really thought about it because he's just been such a great companion. But quest-wise, his companion quests were finished a while ago. Here, like, although it seems like maybe it might even come back into order because there isn't a check mark against this. But yeah, his companion quests are marked as finished, whereas the other companions' quests are not marked as finished. So I sorted everything over here. I'm not going to bother to show you, but so now in each of several different containers I have the overflow one of everything items, and then I've taken some items that I would like to sell and put them in Eddie. So let's come over here.
Put down that sick motor runner.
And then we will take everything.
Son of a bitch. You looking to buy some supplies? Can do.
So what I want to do here is sell the C4 explosives, the frag grenades, and the frag mines, and the knife, pulse grenades, pulse mines, satchel charge. I want to try this tri-beam laser, but it's not likely to be very useful. And just go ahead and sell this varmint rifle because I don't think the value is going to go much higher. Here we can buy a shovel. Let's go ahead and do that and see if we can find something interesting with that. Could also buy a throwing hatchet. The system here that food and aid items have any value, any weight value, is just incredibly broken. Even without just using a mod to get rid of being over encumbered, if you just made all meat weigh 0 in the same way that bullets weigh 0, I think that would solve most issues. We need to buy back items now. I've sold a bunch of garbage items. Varmint rifle extended magazines. Yeah. Should I be modifying guns at this point? I don't think I should. And I have no idea what kind of bullets I should be looking for, but I think what we can probably do is buy basic rounds on everything. And that'll put me in a very nice position. And take note here, the barter skill just doesn't matter to me anymore. So much for that. I was thinking we must be so over. I'm not sure if buying every single bullet here is gonna get me back down. Alright. So then we're gonna have to take some C4 plastic explosives back. And we'll just see how many of those, if we can even sell one. Nope. Yeah, let's just sell one.
Pleasure doing business with you. Take it easy now.
Okay. So before I even start doing anything, what I want to do is, like, realistically, your first companion would be here in, like, Novak. That would have been your first opportunity for somebody to actually...
Someone finally put down that... Hey there. Need anything?
Sure.
This guy has basically nothing. That's not worth selling that. I also stupidly bought that shovel and didn't do what I was thinking of doing. Alright. Yeah. Inherently in Fallout games, you start to run into this problem where none of the characters have caps anyways. But I'd say
I don't know
even
if you
more.
know, but since Jeannie Mae passed, I've been keeping an eye on her properties for her. I think it's time we gave everything back to you, so take this key and make yourself at home at our motel. It'll open the room on the second floor, closest to the lobby. Hope it suits you.
Let's ask this question after we
Sure
sell
thing.
things.
Have a look.
I suspect that a lot of this stuff is things I sold to him. Of course, some of this obviously is not. Although, I don't know if Panacea is a named gun from the Gunrunner's arsenal. And I definitely don't think it's worth it to buy weapons just because. And I don't think we'd ever find boxes. Dinky T-Rex souvenirs, in case you could sell them for something more than one cap somewhere. That'd be surprising if you could do that, but it would be an interesting thing. So yeah, if I was to just buy all these 10mm pistols, it looks like I'd spend about 1,000 on them, and then if I was to repair all to one 10mm pistol, I imagine you wouldn't get your money back on that. But we should try that. So that's 256. And why did that change to 190? So and what I probably should be selling, first of all, is the stim packs. Well, the super stim packs. Let's sell 6. And then let's sell another 5. Take back 1. That seems close enough. So let's see what happens when we say this.
Killed her? Why would you do something like that?
She had it coming?
Lord Almighty, I can't for the life of me imagine her doing anything that'd make someone want to kill her. Not that I'm saying you're a liar, of course. I'm just surprised is all. Will there be anything else? Come back soon now.
So we could play a game of Caravan. So I didn't do the full math there, but from what I'm guessing, if we fully refill that, that's 749. No. There's no way that ended up being a good move on my part. And he's out of caps, so I'm just gonna have to hold on to the bullets. Right. So this is the
You have any luck
daytime.
with the ghouls? Really? Unbelievable.
Forgot to
I
even
knew that
turn in
wasn't
the
gonna
side
be easy,
quest.
but I had a good feeling about you. You look like you've been through a lot. Yeah, see ya.
We're now idolized. We want to wait until nighttime, so let's just wait 8 hours here. Okay, so the thought here is Boone would join us if we tell Eddie to stop being our companion. Which, you know, before we do that, let's just make a safety save. And otherwise we'd have to run back, I imagine, to Prim to pick him up. Let's see. Companion protocol terminate. End companion protocol. Okay.
Yeah?
Hmm.
You don't want to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Working on your own, you're a lot less effective. I've been there and paid for it. But this isn't gonna end well. Fine. Let's get out of here.
So it seems to me like some DLC here just allows you to have two companions, or the
Is it time?
game always.
Well, let me know when they're...
Okay. See, it seems like you can only have one companion at a time. So either I'm gonna have to get rid of Veronica, and not Eddie. Eddie is special. So you have two choices here. You either just accept that we aren't going to make any more progress than I could make you care for a while, which seems like that's the case, or just hold on to her and wonder if maybe playing the game with her more. I feel like this is probably a companion quest that, let's see, what does she have in her inventory?
Ooh, got something good for me?
Just her equipment. So let's just do the same thing.
Why does everyone always say that? Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188. Maybe digging in some dirt for scrap metal or something.
Okay.
Yeah? You don't...
So this would have been your first companion.
This isn't gonna... Fine. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. And so now we have a
face-to-face
companion.
meeting with House, huh? NCR would kill to be in your shoes. I was in a lot of places with First Recon. I don't really remember. That part of my life's over now. You got no right. You don't know what you're asking. The Legions. He was a good man. No. Sure.
It's just exhaust
First, they moved us. They picked.
every line of dialogue,
Yeah.
not the...
The last thing. Pretty. It was on the front line.
Just trying to exhaust everything to see if that would increase our companion rate early.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like that would just instantaneously increase our companion rate. So very quickly I'm going to want to give this guy probably a sniper rifle and some really good armor. We have this motel room which we could make use of if we wanted to throw items here, but there's really no reason why you would make this your house when it's still not 100% a proper house where you could place the snow globes, which is the one thing I'd like to be able to do. And as far as I can recall, there's just nothing else to do in Novak. At least not right now.
Hey there.
So the I Could Make You Care quest did not disappear at that point. A lot of this, I think, really is going to come down to finishing the last quest and we're moving the main story forward. At some point, I probably should consider equipping better bullets too. That alone might prove to be interesting. And pretty obviously, the only way you would naturally see every location on the map is if you walked from every point to kind of try and bisect every other point. So from here, just walk this way to see if you run into anything. And if you don't run into anything there, then probably walk in this direction. And then maybe from here, just try and walk full north. Let's see. Are we going to lose moral if we open the grave? I have no idea what that was, but so opening graves are fine. No karma lost or anything like that. It is going to limit you down to soft earth graves, though. It's not going to let you dig every single place where there is a cross. So buying a shovel to dig this very possibly would trick you into thinking that it's valuable to carry a shovel around. And this highlights where the karma system is just totally broken in this game, and that you can literally grave rob, and since nobody's around to see you, you're fine, and because it's not programmed to give you bad karma, you're fine. Let's go and dig the other grave. We'll see how valuable our guy is. As far as enemies. Am I going the right direction? I'm not 100% certain. I think I might not be. Is this going to take us to Black Mountain? Should just look at the map. Yeah. And see that I'm going the wrong direction. This almost feels like it's been randomly realigned. I don't think that's really the case, but easy to get confused out here. Easy to get turned around. What's weird about this area is that it feels like you could just fast travel to this area, kill several scorpions for some XP, and then fast travel to another area and fast travel back to this area, and just grind your way towards higher levels. And a game with a limited number of max levels, which I don't fully understand why games do that. Like, I don't understand why it doesn't just go on forever. And that you could be a level 1000 character with the numbers just going up and not really mattering. That would definitely be a mod I would suggest for people who are going to play the game, is to have New Game Plus mods if this game doesn't have New Game Plus, and to have a setup that lets you just continuously increase your level. So we found this one grave, and there's literally just buff out there. And so I wonder if there isn't some small side quest where a wanderer here was going to ask me to get some buff out for them. It seems to me like we are getting reduced XP now, killing rad scorpions. And I think the game may very well be designed in that way, where you can't continuously kill the same things. Well, it sure looked like this was a direction you could go. So the shovel was pointless. $23 into this game, into this episode, I'm finally getting to my main goal. My main goal is to reach Ranger Station Foxtrot, which I feel like is high in the mountains, and so I think we're going to have to go in a roundabout way to turn it in. It is noticeable that none of the ranger stations so far have been very unique or different. It does just kind of seem like you are going to see the ranger stations as being locations. Here we're walking like a goat on the side of a near sheer cliff to try and see if we can get some angles. The standard Bethesda let's cheat the walls. I think I literally just clipped through a rock that didn't have physics there. Yep. I might be stuck. Yep. I don't know if I can get out of here. See if jumping will break me out of that. Nope. I am on the inside of the rock. Now, here's some standard Bethesda messed up physics. Alright. So that doesn't seem like that's going to work. And last time we tried to reach it this way, it didn't seem like I could find the way there either. Now I have regenerating health. So I think now would be kind of an interesting experiment to just hand over the canteen. So we don't have the canteen anymore. Let's see if we start to get a thirsty quest popping up. Something that would just say you're thirsty, you need to drink, and we'll drink the sunset sarsaparillas. Well, you would think this was the way. It definitely kind of feels like you could play this game on easy or even very easy, but also in hardcore mode and get that one reward. I suspect that one reward is not anything too amazing. It might literally just be completing a challenge less achievement. I would suspect maybe it would give you some item, but no one item in these games can be that important. We really are just nowhere close. So, unless it's not at the top of the rocks. And is actually at the base of the thing. And see, I'm just hitting like invisible walls. So I just fell and took some fall damage. That's probably the first fall damage I've ever taken. And my regenerative healing will probably just repair that. So I'm keeping an eye on the lower left here. Boom is way over there. Whereas this guy is right on my face. We're also trying to make progress on delimbing or dismembering, I guess is the right word. Enemies. The more enemies we can dismember, the better. And you think that this would just be a straight shot to it. But I think it may be over there. Yep. So it is up there. And unless there was way up the mountain, this is totally the wrong place. We've got to follow. Let's get it out of here. We've got to follow the road. And make our way to Jonestown, where the super mutants are. And that's just really poor breadcrumbing. This game has no breadcrumbing system, so it's pretty obvious that it would be poor breadcrumbing when you don't even have a system like that. But when you have your compass pointing you in this direction and the way to reach it is this direction, you can't really blame the player for being confused there. These look like farming silos, so there might be more locations and more things worth finding and investigating while we're here to just wander around. Of course, if you're going to random places, you're never going to know if there isn't going to just be a quest that would bring you back to these areas. I suspect, well, these are vipers. Here's a viper leader. I suspect in the real world, these characters have too colorful of visions and outfits for the game, because the game is too serious otherwise. We want all the drugs now we can find. There are sunset sarsaparilla bottle caps, but you're not even going to be able to pick them up, are you? Yeah. You don't have a way of really zooming in to pick up bottle caps, so it does become questionable whether it's even worth wasting your time to try and pick up a single bottle cap. I don't think Vipers are an organized group as much as a society, so I don't think you can be immortalized and join the Vipers. I think they are one step below even the Powder Gangers. I think you could have joined the Powder Gangers and been in that gang. So I picked up a bunch of stuff there. And I can make dog steak. And that is literally it. So picking up all that garbage items is pointless. My health is slowly regenerating, it looks like. Keep an eye out for mines, I guess. But it doesn't seem like it's regenerating at a fast enough rate for it to be very helpful. It definitely still feels like you, even having that plugin, are not going to play a game, a run of this, like a cover shooter, where you can just hide and crouch down and then wait a few seconds and then your health would refill, and refill at a faster rate even as you crouch down and stopped moving. Yeah, I don't believe in the real world right now there's a lot of farming going on. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was something fairly exotic as far as maybe oyster farming or something happening around the outskirts of Las Vegas and Nevada. This is a fictional world, of course, so they could have had some level of technology that would make sense that farming would happen in Nevada. But if you're in the middle of the Mojave Desert, the kind of farming you could do would probably require you to grow very different things from just corn. Yeah, this feels like a completely empty, unfinished layout. Maybe I could have jumped. Well, that was a bit of a surprise. Just a single enemy. I've now been poisoned. I'm still trying to figure out if my thirst... It really doesn't feel like your thirst goes up that high. So yeah, you can parkour and you can reach this spot. You can parkour and do a very floaty jump to reach this spot. Then you could probably parkour and do a floaty jump to reach that spot. But all in all, that seems pointless. Here we have a caravan. This is Griffinware's sacked caravan. That's my rifle. There's just nothing here. Or nothing here of enough value. Which of course that makes sense. So I'd assume that that is supposed to indicate that this is a more dangerous direction to go. Though it's not that dangerous of a direction. Let's see, are we ready to hand something to somebody else? Let's try the tri-beam rifle. Leather armor reinforced.
Fine by me.
We'll give him some leather armor reinforced, which we'll take away his whiskey, I guess. Merc Grunt, melee weapons, guns +2. I had a sniper rifle. I don't know what I did with it. Let's see, he doesn't actually have a weapon right now at all, so giving him any kind of gun would be better than leaving him with nothing. Yeah. This is the absolute worst gun that you could possibly be using if we know we're coming up against Nightkin and super mutants. Maybe not the worst gun to use against Legion assassins, which I was not expecting them to show up. The weapon condition is dangerously low. Okay. So we will just go back to what we had before. These guys are tough. And my health is not doing great either. Armor condition is dangerously low. These guys are hitting me hard. I think what we've got to do is stim pack quite a bit. Just doing entire loads. So do I have the wrong gun? Or why is this guy running away? Well, the good news is I have a massive amount of stim packs, so it's not a problem. Bad news is my vault security armor is getting destroyed. Interesting. Why is it go red? I think what might be the problem here. Did the other guy just run away completely? Is that so here's our Boone guy. I assume he's just gonna come back. Here's Eddie. I assume they're gonna come back. But what we might have created is a situation there where these guys may never come back though. I may have to chase after the guy who ran in that direction. Yeah, he's like way over there. And see, yeah, they don't even stand up until the danger is gone. So that's gonna create a weird situation. Driver beam laser not useful. We're over encumbered, so we want to get rid of things. Let's see.
Fine by me.
Some basic things I think we can probably guess. Yeah, even this gun we really shouldn't be holding on to. That's a brush gun. We don't have enough bullets for it anyways. Now if I give him these kinds of grenade things, I'm a little concerned about that. Let's take the hunting shotgun and we'll try and repair. Super sledge him. Throwing spears. Right, well. So that's the only one thing you can't carry. Meanwhile, stats-wise, stim pack. And then we will drink several sunset sarsaparillas. So that definitely feels like that's something that could ruin your day. Yeah, things could go wrong very quickly there. These kinds of helmets and items are not great. And we just drank some sunset sarsaparillas, so there's no telling when the next time I would be triggered to be thirsty would be. We might be entering an area that's just incredibly dangerous, and that's why those were such heavy hitters. Or we might have just leveled up to the point where they're going to be heavy hitters. Let's look at the map here. The map seems to indicate that if we go here, we're just going to hit an invisible wall, which I'd like to see what that invisible wall is. Like, logically it should just be radiation. Or something along that lines. Party time mints. Mintats. Yeah, this is the kind of place they probably would set you up to know that there's no further way that way. Although it really is just an invisible wall, because I could totally jump past that and cross. And the water's not even that radioactive. So yeah, just a dead end. Not even a fast travel location. They don't want you going that way. It's kind of hard to explain storyline wise why outer parts of the Mojave Desert would be irradiated higher than New Vegas would be. Yeah. Yeah, there's really no reason why that would be the case. What the Fallout universe needs is super glowing ones, effectively ferroghouls that are afraid of civilization and light, but are highly radioactive, that would live on the outskirts of locations, cities. Leaving radiation wherever they walk. And except for random Legion encounters, which this is totally the wrong place for the Legion to be, you are left with just enjoying. Are these aggressive? Says they are. Yeah, you're left with just enjoying the view. Which I'm not sure there's enough here, even when this game was first released, for this to be a particularly interesting view. We've got a mine here. Let's go in here, even though incredibly dark. We'll turn on the flashlight. A lake lurk. Not really following the logic that a lake lurk would be in this area. We're gonna need the local map, I think, fairly quickly. It definitely feels like lake lurks only exist in this game because murlurks existed in Fallout 3, where that was much more logical that that would be the case. Where any kind of aquatic creature in the Mojave Desert doesn't make a lot of sense. In fact, I kind of need to just... Boone has just become unconscious from what sounds like one attack. Kind of have to applaud modern games in how much they have gone through the process of eliminating water from their games. No swimmings, no underwater temples, no aquatic creatures. Boone is back. It's simply a thing that they've never figured out the right way to implement water well. So it's just kind of better to not bother to try by modern standards, since so many people have tried and failed at it.
Can't run from me.
Inherently, I imagine it is a case where Jackal gang member pushy, worn key, leather armor. So there's a Jackal gangs also around here. I feel like if you fell down here, you probably would survive, but maybe you would just instantly die. Yeah. It is just... so awkward to move in water to begin with, to have entire extra requirements. This water seems like it would be very helpful if you're gonna live in this area. Feels like that's a rope, but it isn't. Go down here, we have the rebreather, and we're gonna just swim around. This would be a great example of... Now I'm over encumbered. This would be a terrible place to reach and investigate if you didn't have the rebreather. And I'm questioning if maybe you'll just make things float up as you get close to them. Lake lurks themselves seem to not really carry any items other than lake lurk meat. And there is a whole thing here. It is a super mutant brute. So, yeah, people just playing poker here. So there's been a couple of underwater places we have seen where people are gambling and then they end up dead. I have no idea what my companions are doing up there. I assume they're finding lake lurks to kill, as they're probably being teleported to walk near where I am under the water. We'll have to look at the local map to get a general idea whether there's another exit around this or mostly was just this underwater section. It is believable that you would have gotten those bodies to float up even if you weren't swimming. I suspect that is everything here. And we need to go back and investigate the other side. Okay, can we do anything with these weapons? So much of this is just explosives. I definitely am leaning towards thinking that maybe it is time to I don't know. Let's see. The weight here for the value is very high. In the opposite direction. Frag mines are low value, and in comparison, like a grenade rifle is low value, so we should get rid of things like that. Long fuse dynamite is not necessary. These pulse grenades aren't very valuable. The pulse mines aren't very valuable. Leather armor is not very valuable. And then for the weight, the Legion stuff is not very valuable. And then all of this food stuff is not worth its weight. So, yeah, we would come back to this area if there was some reason we needed food. If we remembered it was here, which we almost certainly wouldn't. Still a lot of sunset sarsaparillas to drink. Now, do we have any miscellaneous that we can also drop in a box here to empty our inventory? There we go. So that's a major improvement as far as just being over encumbered. And visually, I guess the story is that this was a area that flooded and maybe the lake lurks came in. after it flooded. And then it implies to me that the super mutant there may have been part of the gang of humans. Maybe the leader. Even I doubt the leader, since super mutants don't tend to want to lead. They've been like genetically engineered to follow the master. This rock looks like a body. So I want to take things of high value. Is that 2 explosive cases on top of each other? Yes, it is. So I'm only going to take that one type of dynamite that was very high value. Let's see. Yep, this just goes back full circle. So there's nothing new. I'm a little concerned that I don't see Eddie anywhere. I'm hoping we didn't lose him permanently. I don't know how you could lose him permanently, though. It doesn't seem like companions in this game can die. Which, a real role-playing game, your companion would die. You might even bring him back to life. And it does kind of suck that that's how I'm describing Fallout games here, is that it's not a real role-playing game, but you know, there's a lot of truth to it. It has the pretense of role-playing. It pretends to be role-playing, but it's so incredibly imbalanced and needs to be fairly imbalanced just to be a good video game. That it couldn't ever have, shouldn't have picked that up, that free experience that you could have with a tabletop game and a dungeon master like character player that can just use their imagination to tell a story and is not limited by not limited by the limitations of a video game engine. Hey, let's get that shovel back. I guess we should just hold on to a shovel always. Where are you, Boone? Come on, Boone. You're somewhere around here. Oh, this is ridiculous. Where is he? What happens if we just wait? I guess that'll work.
Fine by me.
My hope here is he's not going to use any of those explosives. If the idea was that you should always carry a shovel around with you because you're going to run into graves, I should have run into a lot more graves, and I just haven't. And it does bring about a weird question about whether there would be some kind of quest. I'm turning on the flashlight outside. It's not really doing anything. I am just pointlessly slaughtering the buffalo here, possibly starving out the citizens of Jonestown in the process, all just for XP. And this path is still just curving around, so I'm not sure at what point we're going to get off the road and start heading towards that location. Not sure it's worth my bullets to even shoot at that. So I think this is the crossroads here, where you pick one or the other directions. We don't want to go to Jonestown. Even though we've been told about Jonestown, we don't have an actual quest to go to Jonestown, although going to Jonestown may get us to yet another civilization and another community, and so that might be the right way to go. I wouldn't actively be targeting the heads if I wasn't trying to finish the quest as far as dismembering people. So you've got some trees. It definitely feels like if you were going to set a game in a fictional desert and not be stuck following any real history, you would try to find some places where you can have tree grottos and forests. Let's see. This gives you an excuse to have more mantises show up. Anyways. But, you know, the more green you can get into a landscape, the more familiar it will be, and the better overall, in my opinion. At least for some of that, some of the time. This game overall is incredibly too much brown. Okay, level 23. What are we going for now? We kind of don't want to go to a sneak any higher. We could bump survival up. We probably should just bump up, say, explosives to 20. And if I was to ever take the tag, explosives would be the one to bump up. Get an extra 25 points into it. Energy weapons. We could get explosives to 25. We could get guns up to 60. Melee weapons up to 15. Survival by another 2 points. Barter doesn't even really matter. Although, maybe we should just get it up. No, let's give 2 points to survival. No level up there as far as a perk goes. I do half expect once we get to this ranger station to find it either being manned by super mutants or overrun by super mutants, or even overrun by the Legion, which that would explain how the Legion would have gotten their codes. This is by far the most difficult of the ranger stations to reach. Let's see. Is it worth it to take this slow, or should we just fall and take some fall damage? The crippling aspect of the fall damage is the real problem, more than the actual damage. Remember, we have the strengthened armored body already, and it's still not really stopping us from taking fall damage and being crippled. Okay. Everybody's asleep outside with nobody guarding them.
You're here for the money. I told the Emeritus I was good for it. I just need more time.
Let's ask this question.
I talked to the cashier at Gamora into forwarding me some chips. I was convinced I was due for a hot streak. It didn't go so well. The Emeritus were nice and said they'd give me some time to pay them back. They also said if they had to talk to me about my debt again, they wouldn't be nice the next time.
Let's exhaust this
I don't want to
dialogue.
talk about it. We were on patrol near the dam when a Legion raiding party jumped us. Didn't even have time to radio it in. I was hit in the head with a machete and knocked out. Didn't kill me, though some nights I wish it had. When I woke up, my nerve was gone. The rest of my squad was crucified, butchered, mutilated. I don't know how they missed me. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they knew they'd broken me. I gambled and drank a lot after that. Got into trouble, but the Rangers gave me a second chance instead of kicking me out. So here I am.
So she's almost certainly the leak.
Maybe, but thanks for saying it anyway. I operate.
I don't feel like we should lie.
Oh, well, yeah, I can do that. Thanks.
Should we lie?
Watch out for great cons.
And then let's see if we can find the other person. Should be another person somewhere here. Can we do anything with the reloading station? We can break down bullets, but we can't even craft better versions of bullets. So it seems like there's possibly a side quest to take out the Emeritus. I don't even know who the Emeritus are. And it doesn't seem like there is a guard. Here she is.
No run-ins with the great cons, I hope. They've been more
I don't even know if we've seen the great cons more than once.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. There was a lot of talk being posted here as their second and last chance, and so far, I'm not impressed. Tough, independent, and as
Let's
ruthless
exhaust
as they
all
can.
the dialogue.
Be careful out there.
So it took way too much work. Apparently there's a Red Rock Canyon where I'm already liked. And so we probably should run to that and check that out also. It took way too much work though to finish this quest.
The security lapse with the monorail is a huge embarrassment.
Yep. I'm not sure if this is the right building or not, but we might as well just go in and see. Yeah, it is.
Welcome back.
All the Rangers have been given the new security
Glad to
codes.
hear it. I'll switch over all radio broadcasts to the new encrypted channels. This ought to help us stay a step ahead of any spies. Before you go, I've got another job available. We've received some disturbing reports from some of the ranger stations. Heavy casualties at Alpha, super mutant legionaries at Delta. The weirdest one has to be the Great Khans and their trained death claws at Foxtrot. These reports can't be accurate, can they? I know you've already been out there, but could you do me a solid and confirm these reports with the rangers who sent them in? Nothing is severe. Charlie seems to be getting a lot of extra medical supplies for some reason, while Bravo hasn't requested a resupply in a while. Echo has been reporting heavy Legion activity down on their end, but that's about it. Thank you, and good luck. Bye.
So now the game wants you potentially to just fast travel. I would assume it really wouldn't make a lot of sense to not fast travel to each of these stations and investigate these seemingly obvious false reports.
We won't. Why are you still here? Ma'am.
Okay. So, wasn't the request to talk to the comms officers? Apparently not in this case. In this case, they want me to walk, think in this direction. There's too many green things on top of other green things. So I'm spinning around on the compass to see to hopefully point in the right direction. Really, I just needed to have walked in some direction. If these rumors were true and were triggering them, now that would be interesting. So are we talking to spotters, perhaps?
Yeah? No, I didn't. You might hear that kind of nonsense from a drunk trooper on the strip, but not from me. The Legion doesn't have super mutants. That patrol was wiped out by its own incompetence. A couple of the troopers were fooling around with a grenade when it went off. See you around.
So there's definitely some like fake news going on here. Some. Right, so
Hey,
we're talking to the
think
Rangers.
about being a ranger?
Not the Rangers. We need the named person. It's not the comms officer. I don't think it's the comms officer.
You're really not supposed to be here. Don't get.
So we should also look at the quest and see if there were any other optional investigations that could be made. Where's the guy?
I'd gladly fight at your side.
Really shouldn't be this difficult to find the person to talk to. It says he's should be right here.
Did you need something else?
It seems to me also that you might be getting random versions of these people every time you visit the area.
High casualties? We've had one broken ankle, but nobody at this post has died. There are other ranger posts around. Reyes might have mixed up the report. Any injury, illness, or death gets... Chief Hanlon and his aides compile the reports and assign reinforcements as needed. And they're not needed here.
Just
Do
exhausting.
a fucking head count then. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be. Reyes got the numbers wrong. Not much more to it than that.
This would be
So
funny
long.
if it turned out that Reyes is the spy. And she's... But then why would she out herself in such a way? By sending you to investigate in the first place. Like everything here points to her being the leak. That would make the most amount of sense. It seems like they also gave encrypted codes to every single person that are the same codes, when it would make more sense to have encrypted codes for each individual station relayed back to a central point of failure, yes, but better for security that way.
You must be mistaken. I haven't filed any report like that. Trained death clause? I would have remembered that. If someone is saying I filed that report, that's a load of crap. I won't have my name attached to a clerical error. Be careful out there.
Now that was a fairly quick way to finish this submission, so it's a pretty good experience. I kind of wish all the missions were that easy.
Welcome back.
They get easier with the fast travel points.
I knew it. Every one of the false reports was signed off by Chief Hanlon at Camp Golf. But why would the Chief manipulate the reports? I need you to take everything we found to Chief Hanlon and confront him with it. I don't want to make this public unless we have to. Bye.
Chief Hanlon.
No monorail access to the strip?
Not this guy.
How am I supposed to take my leave?
So we need to find Camp Golf. Where is Camp Golf? Camp Karen. What's actually pointing me towards Camp Golf? I've never made it to Camp Golf. Okay. So we're going to have to actually do some walking. Just make sure this is the right direction. Every new fast travel location needs at least a Mojave Express shipping container, if not a market trader. Somebody really at the beginning in the entrance of the whole areas. Otherwise you're just going to end up not having that reminder. How am I getting 100 XP? Must have killed 2 in a row. But yeah, you're gonna end up forgetting that you're on the verge of being over encumbered. It's also fairly noticeable that there aren't that many places where you can get items repaired. So my equipment that I'm wearing right now, my armor, is not really doing as good. I think we saw this area before. I didn't realize it was going to be an NCR camp. I thought this might be a dungeon area for a very rich, like, mansion family. Rich person living in a mansion. Don't need a carton of cigarettes. Take the lad's life. I really do wish that the things, if you could craft them, had more value. The explosives in particular. I wish those had more value to them. But what I would imagine you need to do to make it work for a game like this, since this is a 100% gun game, let's just be honest. Yes, you can have knives and machetes and go in and armed if you want to, but realistically, you're not going to do any of that. I'm not going to walk around the perimeter looking for the front entrance. So this is just a whole NCR camp. But you would think there would have been a quest that would have taken you here first. You can see that there is a golf course, or was a golf course here at some time. I guess they were trying to be helpful by putting a big building that you would see in the distance, but it didn't make me see all the tents, which would have really told me everything. Right. Let's see what's in here. There's probably going to be another quest to heal people.
Go quietly. The Legion can count. Glad to see you. Need a patch job?
Let's see. What can we sell? I really don't have too much in my inventory. What was that? I saw that it was taking a weight. Doctor's bags. Bullets, bullets, bullets. Those don't have any value. Did I just sell something that had no value? Not paying enough attention to what I'm doing. Let's sell super stim packs then while we're at it. That may be about as good as we can get as far as selling things. Unless we just want to sell centaur blood or cherry bombs.
Thanks. Ma'am.
So no quest yet. From the looks of it, nobody injured here, needing to be healed. So he is just the medic with no other things. You've got a lot of people here. So we're looking for the comms. Look how dark that texture is.
Oh hell, what is it now? I've been here since the first push into Vegas. Back in the day, this camp was the hot spot for conflicts with the Legion, Raider. These days, I spend most of my time trying to beat a little discipline into the soul. Yeah, well, somebody has to wrangle those washouts and... Disappointed. We call them the Misfits for a reason. Squad leader's got some promise. Kid named Mags. But as for... I'm going to make them shape up... You're welcome to try. Hell, maybe they'll listen to somebody they don't see as an... Man. Yeah, well, yeah, whatever.
So now we have new quests talking to these misfits. This guy's not even doing anything. So on that quest, if we set that, we can see that there are several people we'll need to talk to. This is bad design though, for sure, because we've got a whole bunch of tents now that for no real reason we're going to go in, see the loading screen, see that there's nothing in it, that it's just repeated. And this probably highlights the exact line of just how much RAM this game could handle when it was released. In that we've seen so many other places with tents that have open tents, and they had to throw in some loading for each one of these just because it's too much stuff. And most games by a better engine, more modern engine, would not have that problem, since most of this stuff is just the exact same textures and the exact same layout. Yeah, I'm heavily suspecting that
wish I had a first recon guy looking after me.
Rest of these tents are not going to have anybody talking to them or anybody in them either. Everybody's just going to sit outside their tent. Questline wise, this is the content that you probably should have seen earlier than this point. It definitely feels like you're pushed to really experience the NCR content before anything else. Alright, well, let's go ahead and save here and call it an episode. We accomplished a decent amount of stuff. We're moving the main stories forward, which will eventually just have me working my way towards finishing the main story. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, keep on watching. Thanks.